A lot of talk in that briefing about the U.S. economy during this war, and you heard Biden placing some of that blame for rising gas prices and inflation on Vladimir Putin. He's even referred to what we are paying at the pump as Putin's price hike. But here's the deal. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that U.S. inflation increased 7.9% before this war began, setting a 40-year high. ABC News business correspondent Deidre Bolton joining us now for more. So, Deidre, inflation and gas prices, they've already been on the rise. I mean, way before the invasion. So how much of what we are seeing right now is because of the war and the sanctions? I mean, you heard one of the correspondents there taking that direct question to Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki getting a little defensive, saying, yeah, but in just the last week or so, we've seen prices rise 75 cents. But let's just put it in perspective here. There was an issue before the invasion happened.
There sure was, Kara. Very well said indeed. So the data that we got today has basically a few days worth of data included that are as a direct result of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but only a few days worth. If we're going to telegraph what is about to happen, what economists think will happen, we are going to see much higher inflation numbers for the month of March, for the month of April. So to your point, there was a limited effect, at least if we're talking about energy prices, gasoline prices, in the data set that we got today. We also saw, I would be neglectful if I didn't mention, of course, the rise in these energy prices, but also in rent, also in food. There are a lot of economists who talk about this carryover effect. You have energy, you have to have truckers with diesel bringing groceries to supermarkets. That is part of the reason for those higher grocery costs. But Kira, you said it, these pressures were there long before Russia invaded Ukraine. In fact, if you go back to the pandemic, basically the last 2 years, and you look, we shut down our economy. We were not the only country doing that. It is very easy to switch off this kind of activity as far as demand for travel going down, people driving less. All kinds of activities were lower. That really put a damper on energy demand. Our system went into very slow gear. And then when we were able to switch on the light switch, it just doesn't quite work as easily as that. We are beginning to come up. We heard President Biden, of course, okaying the release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So there are steps being taken to address this issue. But you're quite right. All of these inflationary pressures are really due to a mismatch. What we saw during the pandemic, that's the data that we got today. Going forward, a lot will be as a direct result of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Kira.
So then let's talk about how the Federal Reserve is reacting to all this.
The Federal Reserve has to manage inflation. This is a very hot number. It came in as expected, but it is still something that the Fed has to monitor. More importantly, it has to respond to it. The Fed meets next week. They have telegraphed very clearly rates will go higher by 25 basis points. They have also more or less intimated there are going to be more rate hikes coming over the next few months. They basically are in a position where they have to stay that course. What that means for you, for me, it means all the borrowing that we do is going to become more expensive. So mortgage, car loans, credit card rates, all of that will go higher, Kira.
Any relief in sight for the price of gas?
For the price of gas, I would just say use apps such as Gas Buddy. That's not the only one out there. Join an organization such as AAA. Gas Buddy is one of many that actually you put in your zip code. They will show you the cheapest gas in your area. Some experts actually say it's cheaper to fill up on a Tuesday, Wednesday than it is on other days. There's a whole supply chain involved with that conclusion. But apps are worth checking out, loyalty programs worth checking out, and of course, AAA also has similar information to Gas Buddy, Kira.
And don't forget your bike, your skateboard, your roller skates. Shall I continue?
That's the best idea.
Your scooter. There you go. Deidre, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.